Greetings, folks. It's Woody from Obadiah's Wood Stoves Hydro. And more of this cook stove. I'm going to show you. I know the firebox, kind of looks small. Actually, it's deceiving. The firebox is much larger than the Thor. So, that this oven is pretty much the same size as this. I'm going to be a little bit wider. The doors are all cast iron, gasketed. The glass is a little different. There is no gasket on the glass. There's just a little gasket on the side, and it's pressed up against it. As far as construction, the way it's built, I'm pretty impressed. Top is plate steel, 1/4 inch. Hot plate. It's got release. There are ways to cut them into the cooktop. It's MLK type. Now, this is not your typical wood cook stove, folks. This is a boiler, a natural boiler that also has an oven. In Europe, it's very common for a wood cook stove to be ordered to heat a home. The cook stove is installed in the kitchen, and the heat is extracted from the cook stove and then piped to other areas of the home. Where the heat is needed. And that's a very viable way of doing it. And it's done commonly in Europe. It has multiple boiler connections on the back. This is a stay type boiler. There are no stays in it though, but it's jacketed. So it's what you would normally see in a commercial boiler. As you can see, the stove itself is a large oven. It's polished stainless steel. Something to consider if you buy a cook stove. You don't want a cook stove with a painted oven. Never buy a cook stove with a painted oven. You can't clean it. If it's porcelain or it's stainless, you can at least keep it clean and sanitary. Very, very. So these are my 2 cents. Storage inside it. You get these. Work kindling in there. You can throw pots, pans, extra stuff in the kitchen. You can never have too much space. The thermostat tells you the water temperature. This tells you the oven temperature. So I have a control here, and you turn this dial, and this stove will automatically control the temperature within, and it will regulate the fire. So it's totally automated. Very high tech. They have a nice ass command. It slides out. It's ashes, and then construction-wise, cast iron doors, cast iron frames, welded steel body, sheet metal sides. Doesn't have a whole lot of thermal convection. I wish these pans have rated. I'll talk to the manufacturer and see if they did do it here on the other stove. If we can't get enough on this one up, I'm going to show you this holler box, and it's extraordinary, in my opinion, being a boiler specialist. To see this thing actually installed in a wood stove, just like the North that I showed you, the North Hydro. This is the Hydro version of the Concept 2 cook stove. The Concept 2 has got an interesting firebox in and of itself when it comes without the boiler option. What it does is it's fully lined with fire brick. There's double layers at the top, so it's got a reburn. We think it probably would pass EPA. So that gives you a little clue about this company. They're very in tune with efficiency and clean burning. The little stove here, the Concept 2 Mini, is an extraordinary stove. The firebox is very large, very clean burning, very cool stove. So we think that it would pass EPA. So let's get back to the boiler. What we're looking at here is a completely lined water jacket. I mean, all the way around. So you can see the thickness. This is lined with water, steel, and there's water inside it. There's water flowing through here, all the way around through this tube. It goes all the way down. So you've got a lot of surface area in here to absorb the infrared rays from the coal or the wood that's in there that's burned. So, and then what happens is the hot water that's being produced in your firebox comes out the back of the stove, goes through a hydronic system, which would be, your pumps and the normal type of a system that we would install for a home heating system. The thing that you have to understand is, this system works very well. You're going to need a couple things. You need water storage, so you need a thermal battery. So when it's running, it's going to put the energy into some sort of thermal tank, and then your heating system will pull back from the tank. Unless you're going to run your stove 24/7, and then it's going to get really hot in your kitchen. So usually a way to work is you fire your stove, a load of wood, bring your hot water tank up to temperature. Rule of thumb is if you have 1,000 square foot house, you need probably 500-gallon water tank to get really any thermal benefit. This size boiler would take a 500-gallon tank, no problem. And that acts like a battery. And basically you have a generator. So you fire the generator, it runs, puts, the BTUs